You ever hear a scream so sharp it actually stops your heart? Yeah, that was the first thing I heard in Oakage. Get out. That's what she shrieked, before I'd even killed the engine on our moving truck, her voice slicing through the lakeside morning like she was personally allergic to newcomers. I just sat there gripping the wheel, stunned, wondering if I'd landed in the right place or stepped into a parallel universe. Then I saw her, power walking down the sidewalk in these loud heels, clutching a fancy leather folder like she was storming the courthouse steps. She looked right through me, chin jutted, lips pinched, eyes blazing, and I knew. Right then, I just met Laura Scott, the self-declared queen of Oakage. And man, did she look ready to defend her turf. I've been dreaming of this, starting over, slowing down, taking care of my grandmother's old cedar cottage just outside the HOA's grip, just 6 inches outside their boundary, if you can believe it. 6 inches from freedom, or so I thought. It was supposed to be peace, Lake Maplewood, early sun on the water, Tracy 8 months pregnant, both of us bone-tired but hopeful. But that morning, the air felt heavy, like the tension in a room where no one's talking, but everyone knows the storm's about to hit. She didn't bother with introductions. Just stomped up, folder raised like it was a weapon. "I'm Laura Scott, president of the Oakage Homeowners Association," she announced, voice all righteous fire. "You can't just move here without registering. This property is under our jurisdiction." I try to stay calm, set my first moving box down on the driveway. "Ma'am, there's got to be some mistake," I said. "This was my grandmother's place. She owned it." "No, HOA." Her laugh was something else. Sharp, almost wild. "Oh, there's no mistake. Annual dues are $270,000, payable immediately." I actually snorted. I thought she was kidding. Her eyes? Dead serious. "We don't tolerate rule breakers, nonconformists, or undesirables." She let that word hang there, making sure I felt it. Behind me, Tracy was standing on the porch, hand on her belly, looking worn out but trying to smile. I was about to try for some peace, but then Tracy let out this gasp. I turned. She was gripping the railing, face drained of color. Whispered Jake. Her knees gave out. I dropped everything and ran. Scooped her up, heart pounding, Laura's heels clicking closer behind me. "She's faking it. People like this always make a scene," Laura snapped, rolling her eyes. That stuck with me. Some people, they just don't have a soul. I got Tracy into the car, boxes tumbling, my world a blur. Sirens wailed in the distance. For a second I thought, maybe this is just a freak show, a one-off, right? But that was the beginning. The nightmare had just found my address. Next morning, the lake looked peaceful as ever, sun glinting gold off the water. But inside, we were living on eggshells. Tracy upstairs on bed rest, doctor's orders. Every time the floor creaked, I stopped breathing. I promised Tracy, no more stress, no more Laura Scott, just quiet. I lied, not on purpose. Mid-morning, there's a knock at the door. Mike Clark, neighbor across the street, mid-40s, beard, real lawn stripes guy. He didn't say hello, just held out his phone. "You should see this," he said. It was a video, Laura, full volume, screaming, "She's faking it," while paramedics loaded Tracy into the ambulance. Neighbors were just standing there, frozen. Mike shook his head. "She's done this before. People stay quiet because she knows every loophole and every cop in this county. She's like a storm that never leaves." I tried to laugh, but he just stared. Everyone thinks they can take her on. Everyone gives up. That night, Tracy managed a weak smile. "Don't let her live rent-free in your head, Jake," she whispered. "Promise you'll focus on us." I promised, but I knew storms don't listen to promises. Next day, I'm moving boxes, and here comes Laura again, this time with a big guy in tow. Her nephew, Derek, apparently. "Your trash cans aren't HOA approved," Laura announced, tone syrupy sweet, "and your truck's an eyesore. We'll be issuing a fine." I exhaled. "Laura, this house isn't part of your HOA." Her smile could cut glass. "Denial won't save you." Derek looked anywhere but at me. When they left, heels and all, it felt like a warning. That night, Derek showed up on my porch, pale as a ghost. "I'm sorry," he whispered, "but you need to know something. She doesn't lose gracefully. My own family warned me. Watch your back. Peace isn't an option, Jake." Survival is. By the next sunrise, everyone in town knew my name. Folks stared at me at the cafe, whispers following me everywhere. I heard, "That's him, the one fighting Laura, and should have paid the dues." Laura had called an emergency HOA meeting, painting me as a dangerous outsider. Now I was the villain. Tracy heard the rumors too. "They're saying you forged the deed, that our house sits on HOA land, that we cheated the system." I sat across from her, my heart racing. "It's all lies, Tracy." She just nodded. "She's not trying to prove you wrong. She's trying to make you lose your temper. Don't let her feed on your fear." I tried. God knows I tried. But my phone buzzed every 5 minutes with some new rumor. I dropped by again, face grim. The ambulance video was everywhere. Facebook, forums, even the town bulletin. Laura said it was edited, claimed I staged it to make her look bad. I laughed bitter. "So now I'm an actor?" Mike didn't smile. "She's holding that meeting tonight. You're the headline." That evening, Derek showed up again. "She's out of control," he whispered, glancing around nervously. "She said if I don't back her up tomorrow, she'll ruin me too. She's not loyal, Jake. She's blackmailing people." I squeezed his shoulder. "Maybe it's time folks stop being scared." That night, Oakage felt like a tinderbox, everyone waiting for Laura to light the match. The HOA meeting, if you can call it that, felt like a courtroom drama. Laura at the podium, pearls flashing, waving her binder. She pointed at me, voice trembling. Jake Rogers, a self-proclaimed heir of fraud. She slapped a page down, official proof my address was inside Oakage. I walked up, "May I?" Held it to the light, and there it was, Maplewood Avenue, not Maplewood Drive. Someone in the crowd muttered, "Wait, Avenue? Isn't that across the highway?" I raised my voice. "My house is on Drive." 6 inches over the line. The room went dead silent. You could hear her grip on power start to slip. "A typo," Laura stammered. "It doesn't change anything." But it did. People started whispering, Mike's phone camera blinking like a heartbeat. Laura tried to recover, but you could see it. Her empire was crumbling, one typo at a time. After that, the war started for real. Every day, a new envelope, violation, fine, infraction, stacked up like weeds on my kitchen counter. Tracy watched, eyes narrowed. "You're not her neighbor, Jake. You're her project." It wasn't about the mailbox or hedges. It was about power. I started digging, literally, through my grandmother's old files. Found a folder marked Property, Maplewood Drive, Original Deeds, Notarized, Survey Map. My property line stopped exactly 6 inches before the HOA border. Laura had no claim. Grandma Rose must have known, always 5 steps ahead. Mike showed up. We laid the evidence out on my kitchen table. "She's ruling over land she doesn't own," he said. "If folks saw this, her empire would collapse." I almost smiled. Then maybe it's time they did. The next morning, Laura had taped a final notice to my door, $5,000 due. Tracy read it and just shook her head. She's unraveling. When people like her lose power, they claw. Her advice was always to stay calm. But sometimes calm doesn't stop a bully. Laura's next move was pure drama. She called the cops. 2 officers at my door, neighbors rubbernecking, Laura screeching about trespassing and fake deeds. I handed over my papers. Real deed, county stamped. The officer checked, then nodded. "Matches what we got on file." Laura was losing it. "He's lying. I'm the president." Then Tracy's voice, weak from behind me. "Jake, it's the baby." Everything froze. Then chaos. Paramedics, neighbors, Laura still shouting, "She's faking," as they loaded Tracy into the ambulance. One paramedic whispered, "What kind of monster says something like that?" The cops told me quietly, "She's gone too far. File a report." People like her don't stop until someone makes them. Laura just stood there on the curb, her face caught between fury and disbelief as the world she built started to crack. That night, Derek showed up again, but this time with a flash drive, shaking, eyes wild. "I can't cover for her anymore. She's stealing from everyone, Jake, not just you." He laid out the receipts, fake consulting fees, shell companies, bank transfers. Laura had been bleeding the HOA dry for years. This wasn't just a power trip. It was full-blown fraud. Next day, I showed everything to Mike. He whistled. She's cooked. Let me record everything. She can't rewrite this one. Laura announced a public meeting, planning to expose me as a fraud. She didn't know what was coming. That meeting? It was theater. Laura in her brightest suit, pearls and all, with a live-stream camera pointed at the crowd. She called me up, voice ringing. He forged his deed. Insulted this community. I stepped forward, calm, plugged the USB into the projector. Up came her crimes, bank transfers, shell companies, all of it. People gasped. That's my name. That's my money. Derek finally spoke, voice trembling. Enough, Aunt Laura. You robbed us. Then the doors burst open. Sheriffs flooded in. Laura Scott, you're under arrest for embezzlement, fraud, and misuse of HOA funds. Laura shrieked. I am Oakage, as they cuffed her and neighbors cheered. For years, she ruled through fear. Now she was leaving in handcuffs. But as the echo faded, a new question grew heavier than the victory. Maplewood Holdings. Her little fiefdom was just one piece of a bigger, uglier puzzle. The days after her arrest, Oakage was a ghost town. Whispers, shock, folks comparing notes, realizing how much they'd lost to her schemes. The HOA board fell apart. Some resigned in shame. Others claimed ignorance. Derek stuck around, helped clean up, showed up to meetings, took the heat. Little by little, the neighborhood thawed. Tracy came home from the hospital the week the sheriffs finished their report. We sat on the porch together, watching the lake finally calm. You did it, Jake. You took her down, she whispered. News crews call me the man who beat the HOA, but honestly, I just felt tired. One night, couldn't sleep, so I pulled out the USB. There was a folder I'd missed. Regional expansion. Contracts with names I didn't know, developers, consultants, all tied to Maplewood Holdings. Oakage was just a dot on a map. Laura wasn't the mastermind. She was a pawn. Every community, the same scam, the same money trail. Derek brought me coffee. She used to meet with those guys at night. Always called them consultants. She was terrified of them, not the cops. Tracy said it best. You're not fighting a neighbor anymore. You're fighting an empire. I started printing every file, every map, every receipt. That night, a black SUV idled at the end of our driveway. Didn't move, just sat there, lights off. Later, I found a letter in the mailbox. Maplewood Holdings isn't finished with you. No signature, just a threat. Mike wanted to go public, release every document. Derek was scared. Don't push them, Jake. My aunt cried after those meetings. She was more scared of them than anyone. At 2 a.m., the SUV came back, headlights off, just watching. In the morning, detectives warned me, guard your evidence. Don't trust anyone you don't know. You've kicked a hornet's nest. Tracy looked me dead in the eye. Then we don't do this alone. We formed our own little crew, me, Tracy, Mike, Derek, documenting everything. Turns out, Oakage wasn't the only victim. Maplewood Holdings was a system, a network buying neighborhoods, controlling boards, laundering millions. We were just the first to fight back. That night, I stood at the end of the dock, lake silver under the moon, and watched the black SUV idle in the dark. If they thought this lake, this house, this family would ever back down, they'd never met a Rogers. So let me ask you, where's the line between standing up for your home and risking everything for justice? Would you fight back, or keep your head down and hope the storm passes? Drop a comment below. Tell me your take, your story. Because some battles aren't just about land. They're about who we are when the queen finally falls.